Hey, I'm Jake, and today I'm talking about sketchbooks. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about, or what I wanted to do today was flip through my sketchbook. I just finished it. I started in August 2014, finished it in January 2015. So I know I've said that you should do a sketchbook a month. And I got questions about that regarding, is that really feasible if you've got a full-time job, or if you're working a lot? How do you fit that in? And I think when you are learning your craft, you're trying to master your craft, definitely you have to fill a sketchbook every month or close to it. I think when you're working full-time in your craft, then filling a sketchbook isn't quite feasible. What you're doing is you're drawing all the time anyway, and so that's kind of why this thing took so long. As I started in August, and right after I started it, as you can see, Rocket Raccoon drawings right here. I started drawing Rocket Raccoon for marble, and so a lot of my drawing time was put into working. And then I would sketch at night or sketch to warm up or sketch to cool down. So I still am trying to fill a sketchbook, but if you're working full-time, if you're drawing full-time, the point is you need to be drawing all the time. And that's why I say fill a sketchbook a month, because that's a good barometer for how much drawing you're doing if you're not working as a professional. If you're working as a professional and you're supporting yourself or supporting a family, you're drawing enough, okay? You're doing plenty of drawing. So I wouldn't worry about if you're getting the sketchbook a month thing done. So as you can see in my sketchbook, I've got things here of Rocket Raccoon. This was just me trying to figure out how I was going to do them. I felt like this was a little too cartoony, but I really like this design. And I think this one I got the proportions a little bit better. And then you can see like there's just pages of writing stuff. This is me just trying to figure out things that I'm doing, like strategizing what I'm going to do with my life and with my business. This right here is Lord Balderbin's Infinite Journey or something, and this was my writing out what I wanted to do with the Balderbin stuff for Inktober, and so I wrote down how many different cybercorns there are, what drawings I want to do. There's the 12 kingdoms. I don't know. Just story stuff. Here we have a spaceship, and every once in a while I like to do a spaceship. Spaceships are fun to draw. I should draw a spaceship, I should record myself drawing a spaceship sometime. It's I treat it almost the same way I treat a robot or a character, in that I'm always looking at, do I have places where my eye can rest, and do I have places of busyness? Do I have repetition in forms, and is there kind of a variance in size of shapes, in the shape relationships of everything. Here's a character. I don't know what his deal is. I don't like him that much. He's kind of generic, but I realized I'd been doing a lot of robots and spaceships, and I needed to do an actual human, so I did that. This was going to be a spaceship, and I finished it. I mean, I didn't finish it. I was done with it before I really found what I was going to do. And then I ended up drawing this guy. And you can see here, this is all Copic marker. And then I'll do a little bit of colored pencil just to smooth out some of the gradients to them. And then the highlights here I'm doing with a white pen. Calvin, my son, was like, you haven't drawn a tiger robot in a while, you should draw one. So I started drawing one for him there. I got another question from someone, and this is a professional, and he was saying, do you ever feel like sketching for fun or sketching your sketchbook is a waste of time? Like, you should be using your time to make money, to be working on something that's gonna be earning you money. And he has a point. It's like you know, you're doing this for a living. You should be drawing a certain amount every day. That's you know, actually making cash for you so you can support yourself. But I think you need to leave time for just sketching. And I look at your sketchbook as well, look at it this way. Every successful company, if you think about Apple, if you think about Google, you think about you know, the animation studios, you think about video game companies, right? Even well, this is stuff for my website, what I wanted to do there. Every successful company has a research and development department, and their job is to screw around until they find something that's going to work, you know, it's going to make the company more money. And your sketchbook is your research and development department. You have to devote a certain amount of time and a certain amount of resources to just screwing around and figuring out, you know, weird stuff and cool stuff and drawing what you like and drawing what's fun and drawing different things. And like these guys here, you know, they might end up in comics someday. I kind of like this character right here. I really like that design. And so, you know, I wasn't doing this for anything in particular, but when I sit here and draw, something happens, you know, you might find something that you're going to use later on. And a lot of my finished character, or a lot of my finished projects that I've done, comics or children's books or you know, stories that I've done, all started from me just sketching in my sketchbook. And I drew a character, and I'm like, oh, this could end up as something someday. So yeah, this guy right here is, I just started with a round shape, a ball. This was like one of those times where I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to draw. Just start drawing shapes and see what happens. Scribble until you find something. And I found a ball mech. And what I'll do with these is sometimes I'll take these designs and scan them and then print them out on a separate sheet of paper. And then I will color them with my markers. I'm going to see if yeah, here we go. Here's the full color one of this. So I just print out the line work and then I go in with my marker, and this is heavier paper that could take the marker easier. So I got two of them right here. By the way, all of these sketches that you're looking at here, this one's I call it boxcar. And I ended up reprinting and drawing this one on like gray or brown paper. That's the mid-tone, and adding highlights to it. I actually sold that one, and it's in someone's home right now. Otherwise, I'd show you the other one. But like I was saying, all these drawings I'm collecting in a new book called Drawings 2. It's a sequel to my first drawings book that I kickstarted a year or so ago. So it's a chance for you to own a copy, almost like owning one of my sketchbooks. You could flip through, and I love artist sketchbooks, and just going through them and seeing what they're thinking and kind of looking at what their R&D department is figuring out. So this guy is Yukon Cornelius from that one Christmas movie. What's it called? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And there's Rudolph, my robot Rudolph. People don't realize it. They didn't know this, but Rudolph was actually a robot deer, and that's why his nose could shine so bright. It actually has lasers in there that could just cut right through the clouds, so Santa could get the presents to all the little kids that were good. This right here, man, I love AT-ATs. What a cool design. It's one of the best designed robots ever. So this is my tribute to that design. I got a AT-AT for Christmas for my kids, a Lego AT-AT. That's a cool Lego toy. If you're into Legos, you got to get that set. Just screwing around. This was me like figuring out what I was going to do for my 2014, 2015 drawing. I like to do a New Year's Day drawing that kind of represents the new year, and so this is what it ended up being. Got this old lumbering ship, the 14, and then the 15 is like zooming right past them onto new and better things. Trying to figure out that, remember that design I liked back there of the kind of the furry animal kid, and I want to do a comic with this guy. So just trying to figure out what he might look like a little bit better. And then what do they look like when they get older? Do their facial hair grows out and forms beards? I'm not sure. I hadn't drawn a girl in a while, so there's like she's got a lance. I don't know what's going on here. This one, more of this like furry character. And here's me trying to figure out, if he's more of an adolescent, what would, if he's 12 or 11, what would a 15 or 16-year-old female look like? And that was what I was trying to figure out there. Trying to find nice proportions. How big are the hands and the feet compared to the arms and everything? Do the ears get smaller or bigger? This is my research and development. I don't know what's going to happen with this. It might be something someday, but that's what you do. I actually have a video of me drawing this, but I finished the drawing and I was like, it needs one more thing. And I added these little designs here, and I thought they kind of ruined the whole design. So then I didn't like the whole drawing, and then I didn't want to make a video of it. So I don't know, if you guys want to see me drawing this one, I can post that up there. If I get enough people asking for it, I'll make a video of it. But otherwise, you just get to see it here. Oh yeah, remember the drawing of the robot I did a while back? This guy. This was the original drawing, and you could see this took forever. I just kept like erasing and changing stuff and I kind of broke my own rule, and that is, if it's not working like in the first minute, just scrap it and move on. And this one, it was like 5 minutes into it, I'm like, I can make it work, and I just didn't like the proportions. I thought everything was a little too even, a little too unremarkable, and so I went with this guy. I started over, and you saw how fast I drew this one because I recorded it, but I like the longer legs, I like the shorter arms, I like the bigger rockets. Overall, I think this one's just better than this guy. Well, yeah, you remember this one. Scribble until you find something. Here's my dragon armor. I never understood those pictures of like warrior babes and they're wearing like metal bikinis, and I don't know, I just didn't get it. I always figured you could still have feminine armor that isn't like completely ridiculous and wouldn't work and only covers two small little sections of her body. So this is me trying to draw a warrior female who's fully dressed, but she still feels somewhat feminine. This is a Tyrannocornis peg, and it's a mythical creature that used to live in between the age of the dinosaurs and the Ice Age, and it was sort of that, how they say dinosaurs are the forefathers of birds. Well, this is one of the transitional species as dinosaurs changed into birds, and eventually they got rid of these forearms in favor of wings, and there's some birds out there that still have the horn, cassowaries, to name one. And if you look at roosters, they have these big combs on their heads, and 30 million years ago they were horns. So yeah, this was a drawing of Tyrannocornis pegs flying and attacking that I never finished. That would be fun to finish. Here's my dragon girl. The next Rocket Raccoon comic has a sea monster in it. Scotty wrote a sea monster, and so here's my sketches trying to figure out what that sea monster looks like. And we're getting to the end of the sketchbook. I thought, wouldn't it be cool if there was like a rabbit astronaut that had a carrot rocket ship? So you're just trying to figure that out. And then as I was drawing, I was like, well, what if he didn't have a rocket ship? What if he had like a little speeder that he rode on? So that's what I ended up drawing. And then last night, these are the latest drawings. I drew a tired Martian because I was tired, feeling like a tired Martian. And I like that design. I want to do more. So here's 2 more tired Martians. I thought it'd be cool if like there was a dog one, but he was still like really smart. Anyway, so that's my sketchbook. Thanks for checking it out. And time for me to start a new one. Bye. Hey, thanks for watching. And speaking of sketchbooks, about every couple of years, I collect my drawings into an actual printed book that I then sell, so you can have my drawings and flip through them. And I just want to walk you through the history of these books. This is the first one I ever did. This is called Jake Parker's Agent 44, and it was just a thing I did at Kinko's. Super simple. This is one of my favorite drawings. This came out in 2002. After that, I did another book called Jake Parker's Agent 44 Art Digest, which was a fancier version of this, and I actually had it printed in Texas at a printing company. I forget which one it was, but I don't know. This was a fun one. I printed 1,000 of these. I never sold 1,000. I had so many of them, and they didn't. I mean, I sold a good chunk of them, but I still had like 3 boxes of books when I moved from Texas to Connecticut, and I was like, I don't want to haul these around, so I threw them away. So if you want one of these, they're in a landfill somewhere in Texas. After that, I moved to Connecticut. A couple years went by, and then I made another book called Inktober 2009, and this was just a collection of my drawings from the first Inktober. This one's sold out. You can't get this. I have digital versions of all these, though, if you want them. And then I did Space Cave right after I moved from Connecticut to Utah. Space Cave 1, right? So my idea was I was going to do Space Cave 2, Space Cave 3, and this was just another collection of tons of drawings that I did. And then I decided to rebrand the whole thing. Space Cave is kind of a misleading title. I just wanted something simple and to the point, and so that's when I did drawings, and this is my first drawings book. And drawings I launched a Kickstarter for. It did really awesome. Printed 2,000 of these books. They're all gone. They're completely sold out. And so now I'm doing drawings 2, and I have a pre-order thing going on, a pre-order event is what I'm calling it, over at my website. You can click the link below to go do that, to pre-order the book. I would love it. I want to get these books into people's hands, and I don't want people to say, I missed out. Do you have any left? And for me to have to say, no, they're all gone. So if you want a book, pre-order now. Bye.